This week on Machinery Pete TV, the Duff and Julie Dimmick retirement sale saw some competitive bidding, especially when this Ford F550 XLT service pickup went on the auction block. Some tractors are found in the fence row. This one works there. And Rick Rediger shares his perspective on the machinery market from an auctioneer's point of view.
Your machinery is a serious investment and at the heart of every farming operation. Some call it a passion. We're Machinery Pete TV, and today we'll cover everything from auction roundups to the classics to the latest trends and technology. Machinery Pete, the most trusted name in farm equipment.
Machinery Pete thanks these premier sponsors for their support. Big Iron Auctions and the Share Your Legacy program, promoting the future of agriculture with amazing legacy stories from across America. No other cornhead works like a Drago or pays you back like one. Visit your Drago dealer and see for yourself. For farmers working to lift, change, and repair tires, check out the Tire Grabber at thetiregrabber.com. Hey folks, welcome to Machinery Pete TV. Today we're in Walnut, Illinois. It is freezing outside, but we're nice and warm and toasty inside here. We've got a great line of equipment selling, and what a treat we get to watch Rediger Auction Service with roots going back over 80 years in the auction business. Now before we hop into the action, we got to start with Share Your Legacy with our friends at Big Iron.
Back in the 40s, when I was 6 or 7 years old, I was always out in the iron pile and doing that. In fact, they got pictures of me taking machinery apart that I shouldn't have been taking apart. I've had a desire to build things. I built a lot of stuff over the years. A lot of the stuff they didn't make big enough to suit me. For instance, the corn planter over there and the sprayers, 90-foot sprayer boom before the biggest one was 40 or 50 feet.
The words I use to describe my dad are words we've been saying in our family for a couple decades now. He is the world's oldest juvenile delinquent, and we love him.
Ended up buying a Tiger Steiger 150 cubic inch Cummins in it with 525 horsepower, which we used to build a pond out here and got started in the construction business that way. So we were big time in construction, and most of my help was by farmers around the area. When they get done farming, they'd all climb on that machinery and away they go. I started tractor pulling in '59. Decided I wanted a real light tractor that I could weight properly with as much horsepower as I could get. With a 345 horse, 327 Chevy engine, it was nasty.
So this is the Shaliver. What made you put a car engine in a tractor, an Oliver for that matter?
Since I was old enough to know any kind of tractors, nothing has ever had enough power to suit me. Anyway, a little story with it. And pretty soon come the cop.
Just you.
Come the cop, and he comes right up to the fender and he says, "What's going on here?" He says, "I'll escort you back to Milford." So I passed him. And we went back to Milford 45 miles an hour with him behind and the lights on. That was the beginning of the Shaliver.
And that's why they call you the oldest juvenile delinquent to this day.
I think you're probably right.
Hey, stay with us folks. You love Ford trucks. You're not going to want to miss this. We got a 2014 F550 XLT, just under 51,000 miles on it with a Knapheide service bed. Well folks, I know it doesn't feel like harvest weather, but I tell you what, we got a nice cornhead on the auction today, a 2021 John Deere C12F 12 row. Sale bill said it's only been used 222.6 SEP hours. Now I tell you what, just about a year ago I saw 4 21 model C12F sold at auction, and they went anywhere from 131,000 up to 170,000.
100,000 outbound, 110, 110, 110, 110, 100 now 110, 110, 10, 100,000 now 110, 110, 120, 110, 110, 120, 110, 120, 135, 135, 135, 135, 135, now 140, JR 140, 135 and 40, 135 and 40, all done, 135 and 40. Sold that thing your way, Adam, 135,000.
Hey folks, I'm here with Jeremy and Jonathan. You guys grew up in the auction business, Rediger Auction Service. I imagine since you guys were just yay high?
Yep. Yep.
What do you remember about those early days?
Saturdays, Sundays, early mornings, household sales, dragging all that stuff out the morning of.
Now, do you remember the first things that you guys got behind the mic and sold?
I do. First thing was a consignment sale, and I don't remember the situation, but we had something pulled us away at Princeton Fairgrounds back in the day when Uncle Jim and Dad were still together, and I sold a flat of screwdrivers.
Screwdrivers, and that was, now you're not selling screwdrivers today.
Nope, no screwdrivers today. We're in a little different.
It's a long way to a quad track 620.
There you go. There you go.
And now, Jeremy, you have boys, and your oldest Brick, is he wanting to get in?
Yep, he'll be attending. I don't know if we're going to do the Missouri or the Iowa. Grandpa kind of pulling for the Iowa, and I'm kind of pulling for the Missouri side, but for where we went to school individually. But yeah, he'll be doing that this summer.
And did you, as they were growing up, did you see echoes of your own path? Yeah.
I mean, you could almost see the flash where he got it, and he started to enjoy it a little differently. And yeah.
Now, guys, what has it been like working with your mom and dad and your grandpa, a legend in the business? What was that like, John, as watching them through the years and working with them now as you're older?
They taught us everything we know. You learn a lot. It's totally different than it was 20 years ago. As far as the business goes, everything is completely different.
All right, folks, time for something different here on Machinery PTV. We have a 2014 Ford F550 XLT service truck, 50,800 miles on it with a napite service bed. This is going to be fun.
75, 75, 75, what'd you say? Got 71 and 2, 71,000 and 2, 72 and 3 and 3, 73, 73 and 74, 74 now, 75, 75 and 76, 76 and 78, 78 and 79, 79,000, 79,000, that'll be down to 99, 79, 79 to 80,000, 80,000 to 81, 80,000 to 1, 81 to 2, 81 to 9 to 2, 3, 82 and 3, 3, 3, 83,000, now 84, 83 and 4, 83 and 84, 83 and 4, 4, 83 and 4. You sat here all day, boys. 84,000, 83 and 4, 83 and 4, 4, 83 and 4, 84 and 85, 85 and 6, 85 and 6, 85 and 86, 85 and 9, 6, 85 and 86, 85 and 6, 85 and 6, 85 and 6, 85 and 6, 85 and 6. Now 87, 87, now 88, 88, 87 and 8. He's faster than you. 88, 87, 88, 87,000, 88,000, 87 and 88, 87 and 8, 87 and 8, 87, 88, 87,000, 88,000, 87 and 8, 87 and 8, 87 and 8, 87 and 8, 87,000, 88,000, 87, 88, 87,000, 88,000. Come on, boys, 88,000. 87,5, 88,000, sir. 88,000, 87,5 and 8. Might have been the best dog of the day. 87,5, 88,000. All done. 88, 88, 87,5, 88. Sold that young man. $87,500.
Here are a few more items that sold on today's sale.
131, 131, 131, 131, 131. All done, JR, 131. Sold that thing, 130,000. 38, now 38,5, now 38,5, 38,5, 38,005. Come on in, you're out. 38,5. Sold that thing your way, Rick. 38,000. We're talking about 42, 42, 42, 42 and a half, 42 and a half, 42 and a half, all done. 42 and a half, 42 and a half, all done. 4,000, 42 and a half. Sold that thing, 4,000 bucks. He's all done. I thought he had one more in it. 15, 5, 15, 5, 15, 15, 5, 15, 15, 5. All done. Sold that thing, Mississippi bound, 15,000. 54, 54,000. 54, 54, 54,000, 54, 53,5, 54. Sold 53,500. Brick's got a man.
What's that piece of equipment worth? Check out Machinery Pete's auction prices for the answer. Free to view, updated daily, all types of equipment. Go to machinerypete.com and click on the auction tab, then auction price data. Folks, I'm here with Rick Rediger Auction Service, and first of all, Rick, great to see you again.
Good to see you, brother.
Yeah. So, gosh, this farm equipment market has been kind of nuts for a couple of years. What have you been seeing down here in Illinois?
Used equipment is the thing to own. Used equipment's being good to the small farmer, large farmer alike. And I think it's going to hang on for a bit yet. Availability and pricing, we all know what it is.
Yeah, that price of new just keeps going up. And it's hard to get.
Yep.
Anything in particular here the last year or so, year and a half, Rick, that you've noticed when you sell, we're like, wow, that's really a hot item?
I think you got to reflect to the trucks and trailers now that farmers want to be involved in. You know, your grain trailers, dump trailers, and your tractors, your semi-tractors. It's amazing. The good ones really sell good, and the farmers are in there swinging.
Yeah, I know. I saw a grain trailer the other day sell for $70,500, and I had to do a double take.
Yeah, well, I hear that the new ones are in the 90s, so you know, you find that good one, you're using it right away and not waiting to get it. The wait time is horrible, I guess, on some of these products.
Now, Rick, you got your start in 1980 in the auction business. And of course, the 80s were a difficult time.
Horrible time.
But do you remember, like, what do you remember from the early days of your career? Like, when you hit a certain dollar figure, it was like, holy cow.
Yeah.
Remember the first thing you sold for like 100,000?
Oh yeah, it's been a while, but yeah, these numbers, yeah, these guys got to learn to count with the big numbers now, and it's a challenge once in a while. But the bidders are faithful; they're good at these numbers, and they know what they are better than we do. They know what they've got to pay, and it'll be exciting today to watch some of this iron.
Hey, welcome back to Tractor Tales, folks. This week we're going to head to Iowa to check out a couple of tractors in the fence row.
I do on-the-side custom fencing. Build fence and take them out with the things in the back, and if, like I said, if you put them in, you got to be able to take them out. The M farm all there, we bought it in 1980. Shortly after that, we put a driver on it. After that, we put a post puller on the back. And then the 4020, I bought that in 86, and a couple years later I put a driver on it, and then we put a post puller on the back of that. The M motor, I've never ever touched it since 1980. It was supposedly overhauled when I got it. The transmission it was redone 2 winters ago. The 4020's had clutches in it, and other than that, it's been good. And so the same way with the 4020, I got a thing on the back to pull out post, a post puller I call it. These drivers both got tilts on them, so you don't have to crank it if you're on a side hill. The advantage of the M versus the John Deere is when you're pulling up to the wire, you don't run over the straight line wire on the fence. You're not running over, it's just right there in the wire. But the 4020 there, you run over the wire when you're driving post. So there's an advantage. 4020 is easier to drive, of course, than an M. However, the M's got power steering. My dad has 800 and some acres up there and always a lot of fencing to do. So that's why we did a lot of post driver. I always wanted one without springs because springs cost money to replace, and I just added weight to it to make it heavier so it hits harder and without breaking any springs. So the other one, it's got springs on it. You got to stretch them before you use it, raise it up and let it stretch, and then so you don't, they call it seasoning of the springs. So you let it stretch and then you start pounding. Otherwise it shocks the springs and breaks them. Like being outside and kind of my own boss, and we all get along good, and it's just kind of fun to be out and about.
Hey, stay with us, folks. Coming up, you're not going to want to miss our feature item on the show today. This 2021 John Deere S780 Combine, 660 engine hours, complete with floater tires.
Got equipment to sell privately but tired of scams and hassles? Visit machinerypete.com and click Sell Mine. machinerypete.com, the simple and secure way to buy and sell equipment online.
Okay, folks, time for our feature item on the show today. A very sharp 2021 John Deere S780 Combine. It's got 660 engine hours, 511 separator hours. Now, in the last year, I've seen 10 21 model S780 sold at auction. The average price, $429,550. I've seen them up as high as $460 and as low as $400,250.
Let's go up, going 400. How about 425? 400,000. Internet's in, going 4 and a quarter. 425. 14. Never thought of it. 410, 20. 14 now, 20, 20, 20, 20, 420, boys. 410. I'm on the floor for 20. 410, that'll be down the toll, for 10, for 20, for 10, for 20. Turn right. 410, 420, 30. JR, you're out. 430. 420, 430. 420, 430, for 30, for 20. 425, 430. 425 and 30. 425, 33, 430 to 5. 435 JR, 435 and 40, 440, 440, 440, 435 and 440, 435 and 40, 440 now 5 JR, 445, 445, we're on the wrong side here, boys, 445 now 450, 445 and 50, 445 with the name of pay, 445, 450, 555, 455, 450 now 55, 455, 455, 455 now 460, 455 and 60, 455 with the name of the come on internet, 460, 455 with the name of the 460,000, 455, 455,000, asking 460, 455 and 60. We all done, boys, 455 and 60. That's a shame, she ought to do better. 455 and 60. Hey, Derek, you're out. 455 and 60. 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 Sold that thing to him, JR. 455,000.
Well, folks, our feature item, the 21 model John Deere S780 Combine, 660 engine hours on it, sells for $455,000. That is the 4th highest auction price I've ever seen on a 21 model S780. Well, folks, if I had a nickel for every record high auction price I've seen on a tractor the last 18 months, I'd have a broken back from carrying around all those nickels. Now, seriously, the 33 years I've been doing this, I mean, there's always been record high auction prices coming in, even in the tough times in ag. Get a certain tractor that comes along, right situation, and historically the records would be broken by, you know, $500, $1,000, maybe $1,500. Well, that has just been out the window. Records have just been obliterated. Now let me give you the latest examples, and believe me, I could give you many, many more. But let's start in Lynchburg, Ohio, January 28th, little farm auction by Rick Williams Auction Company. This 2000 New Holland TV 140 bidirectional. This thing only had 347 actual hours on it, so literally like new. Now, you knew it was going to sell high, but it went for $103,000. Now, that broke a record from 20 years ago, 2003, and it broke it by $36,500. Now, 4 days later, our friends at BigIron.com, their weekly sale, had this beautiful 2008 John Deere 8530 with 5,014 hours on it from Kennard, Nebraska, sell on their February 1st online auction. And it went for $210,250, which is the 2nd highest auction price ever on an 8530. But get this, if you isolate to 8530s with over 5,000 hours on it, this is the highest by $41,000, just incredible. And the very next day, little farm auction in Greens Fork, Indiana, by our friends at Schrader Real Estate and Auction. This really sharp, original 1981 International 1586, 4,261 hours on it, sold for $41,100, record high auction price by $15,850. Well, folks, I told you it was going to be fun to watch that 2014 Ford F550 XLT service pickup sale. And man, was it ever, 87.5. The happy buyer has already taken it away, and we will take you away and see you back here next week on Machinery Pete TV. Machinery Pete thanks these premier sponsors for their support. Big Iron Auctions and the Share Your Legacy program, promoting the future of agriculture with amazing legacy stories from across America. No other cornhead works like a Drago or pays you back like one. Visit your Drago dealer and see for yourself. For farmers working to lift, change, and repair tires, check out the Tire Grabber at thetiregrabber.com.